Let's get into the video. Today is my 2024 Arsenal video. You're pretty much gonna see that I have way too much gear for 3 techniques. Sweet. But I kind of want to show you guys my Arsenal for the year. A lot have changed. I haven't really made an Arsenal video. I've only been doing it since August. But I want to do an Arsenal video this year to kind of show you what I'm starting off with. Honestly, I don't see a lot of things changing. I think I'll add 2 more rods. I will get in that in a little bit later in the video what I'm thinking about adding. If I don't forget, can't wait to forget about that. But I want to show you my Arsenal. Kind of want to show you what's going on, what I'm rocking this year. And then if you guys have any recommendations on different reels I can rock, mainly Dobyns rods. I don't work with Dobyns. I would love to, but I just want to show my Dobyns collection I have. There's a couple, actually there's only one non-Dobyns rod in this lineup, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But let's get started. So first, we're gonna show off the spinning rods for the year. I have 4 spinning rods right now. This is the only one I can really see an increase of, but I don't really use that many spinning rods, so it's really just a kind of here and there thing. But we're gonna show off what I have. First one, which you've seen in a recent video, is my Dobyns Sierra panfish rod. This is a 7-foot ultralight. It's actually a 2-piece, so you can disconnect it, run a 2-piece rod. That's what I bought it for, so I can have it with me at all times. I did pick up some more crappie type jigs and lures to try to play with it more this year. But I got a Diawa Regal on there. I think it's 2000 size. Yeah, 2500. A 2500 Regal on there. Pairs it really well. It's pretty balanced. So this is mainly just for panfish baits. If I do ever get to a spot, they're supposed to be stocking some of my local ponds and lakes with trout. So if that does happen, I might pick up some trout lures and then I might go try to fish for them. I think that'd be a pretty cool video. But right now this is mainly a panfish rod. So let's get to the next one. Next combo is my Dobyns Caden 712. It is a 7'1" medium light fast action. It is a fantastic rod. Very sensitive for the price point of being just under $200. It's 7'1", so you got a little bit more tip action. Really dig this rod. Got partnered up with the Shimano Marvel 3000. The absolute best spinning reel for under $200. They're retail for like $130, $140. If you're a big Stratic fan or you're thinking about buying Stratics, just don't. Buy our Marvel. CI4 Plus body, which just came from the Stratic series. MGL, which came from, I think, not the Stratic, because the one above Stratic. Bunch of technology have came from the top tiers down. It's their lowest finesse. Shimano has a power side and finesse side. So the power version of this at this price should be the Noski. Weighs way more. The Marvel's at 3000 size, a little bit bigger than a normal 2500, but they are sweet reels. Awesome drag for the price tag. Fantastic reel, and it pairs up with these Cadence pretty well. I only have 2 of those. I'll probably get more. But the Cadence very versatile. So like right now, when the year before the year ended, I was throwing a little underspin on there, a little 3-inch underspin. But you guys saw in some of my videos, I threw drop shots on it. I can throw Neds on it. It's a really all-purpose rod. I would recommend a 2-power to pretty much anyone starting to pretty much throw all their top hook baits. It's not enough power, I don't believe, for a Texpose. We'll get to that later of a 3-power. But for an all-day, everyday, just buy 1 rod and go, the Dobyns Caden 712 is my choice for everyday spinning reel rods. Next is the second Dobyns rod I ever bought, and third trip out, catch the biggest fish of the year, just over 4-pound largemouth on a Senko. Fell in love with it, of course. But that is the Dobyns Sierra 703 spinning rod. It is a 7-foot medium power. This thing is phenomenal. With the Sierra rods, they're a little bit softer in the tip. Not a big difference. Like, it's like a mod fast compared to fast. They just seem like they got a little bit more of a tip action, or a little bit, they load in a little bit softer, not as fast. So for throwing Cincos, throwing tubes, Texpos tubes, throwing small worms, all that kind of stuff, this rod is fantastic. Right now I have a Lews Custom 3000 on here. Been a really good reel. It's a beast. It's a little heavy, but it does get the job done. It's got really good drag, really good gearing for me to get the fish out if I do anything. Traditionally, I'm running 15-pound braid to this, and then I'll differ my leader material based off the structure. If I'm gonna be flipping a lot of under docks and into stuff, I'll bump up to like 16-pound sniper, but traditionally I'm running like 10, 12-pound sniper. But that's an awesome combo. Like I said, balanced really well. Very, very good. This is probably one of the only reels in my lineup that I'm thinking about replacing, but honestly, this reel just keeps running really well, and I'll probably just replace it once it finally dies. So now this is the newest spinning rod in my arsenal, which you guys saw an unboxing down in the Black Friday sales. You saw this rod get unboxed. This is the Dobyns Champion 762, a 7'6" 2-power, which is medium light. I am so excited to have this. Last year I ran, actually 3 years, I ran a 7'6" open water Mach 2 spinning rod from Lews. It was a really good rod, just a little on the heavier side. And when I'm throwing a swim bait all day, I want to throw some spy baits on it. It's just a little too heavy of an action to throw spy baits really, really well. So I wanted to get a little bit higher end rod. The only reason this is not a Caden is because Dobyns doesn't make Caden spinning rods on longer series. Dobyns make longer Cadens. Thank you, appreciate it. Can't wait to get that rod in the mail. But, so for now, I'm running Dobyns Champion. If the Cadens or Furies or Sierras become longer, I will pick some of those up. I do love is how this is a full handle. I don't see a lot of spinning rods full handle. Gary talked about on Hellabass's channel that a lot of people prefer the full handle on longer spinning rods. So I'm pretty intrigued to see that. I mean, you can see it fits perfectly in my forearm. So I'm pretty excited to try this out. I can't wait for the spring. We are so close for me to start going in the water again. The water will be warm enough for me to try and catch fish so I can make content for you guys and gals, because right now you just watch me cuss and that's really about it. Anyway, another Shimano Maribel 3000. I just talked about how great they are. There's another one. Definitely be getting more of these Maribels. Honestly, for this rod is mainly a smallmouth lake rod, or I'm throwing a lot of finesse stuff. It's not going to sit in the boat at all times. That's why I have that Caden 712. But when it comes out, there's a reason for it. Love these Maribels. I'm going to love this rod. I already know I'm going to. So this is going to have 10-pound braid, and then the leader will change pin on the day. Traditionally, I stay around 8 to 10. But some days they're being a pain in the butt. I gotta drop down to 6 or 5. So, but mainly it's gonna be 8 to 10. I can bump it up too if I want to, but the braid will stay at 10-pound. So the next rod is the only non-Dobyns rod in my lineup, and that is a Lews Custom 7'2" Magnum Bass Rod 2. It's a 7'2" medium heavy fast. The reason it's in my locker, no matter if I did work for the company or not, is because my wife bought it for me after we got engaged. It's a fantastic rod. It does everything well. I have thrown 8th-ounce swim bait heads on 10-pound fluoro, all the way up to throwing jigs, throwing T-rigs, chatterbait. This was, and for a very long time, my main chatterbait rod. It's so nice to be able to take this rod, 16-pound fluoro, hit them as hard as I want, and I don't lose fish on the hook sets or green them in. It loads so nice. The best reel Lews makes outside of Super Duties, Lews Customs, SLP frame, $180, all aluminum. They have the P2 support bearing in there to help support the pinion. It's got really good external braking. It's got internal braking as well you can adjust. It's got really good, it's honestly the best built reel Lews makes. I have Hypermags. I have a Hypermag, $300 Hypermag that I paid like 200 bucks for. I hate it. I love this custom. It dials in so easy. If I needed to cast very far, couple quick adjustments, I can bomb a cast. If I need to adjust it and start skipping, I can skip with it. It's a 150 size reel, foam handle, aluminum side plates. It's the best reel Lews makes. By that aside, I don't understand Lews. They don't make this in a 6-speed. They make it in a 7 and an 8. But it's the best reel they make, and no one talks about it. I don't understand. They have this whole Mock series now. That is the most garbage reels on the market. Do not spend money on Mocks. If you're going to spend $180 on a Lews reel or around that price point, buy a custom. You won't regret it. Best reel Lews makes. I will die on this hill. Please fight me in the comments. But except that, this rod will always stay in my boat because my wife bought it for me. I love this combo very much. It does everything well. It does everything great. So this rod will always stay in my boat. I really, really love that combo. And also, didn't say it, get some rod sleeves. With this, how this boat's rigged up, rod sleeves are great. Those are 6 cents. They're awesome, like 10, 12 bucks. If you can't afford that, buy the cheap little fabric ones, but get some rod sleeves. Now, we are back to regular schedule programming. We got another Dobyns Caden here. Such a good rod series. Oh, it's so good. They knocked out the park with this rod. This is a 7'4", KD 743. 7'4", 3-power, medium heavy. This rod, I know everyone talks about the 734 Chomp. No one gives enough love for the 3-powers. The 3-powers are so good. I love 3-powers. How many I have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, technically 4.5. Yeah, I got more 3-powers than 4-powers in the Dobyns line in the casting ability because they're so good. I always recommend someone says, what Dobyns rod? 3-power spinning, 3-power casting. Unless you're going like jigs or something, then that changes my mind. But for everyday use, they're so good, so good. Love this rod, got it last year. Fell in love with it, fell in love with the Caden series because of this rod. I got a Lews Turn MB reel on there. It's all matchy, black and red. Reel's not bad. Once again, it's like 160, that custom's 180. If I knew how good the customs were, I would just buy another custom. But I got this thing on sale. It was actually off the Facebook Marketplace. I got it for $100. Was having some screeching issues. It just needed to be cleaned. So I cleaned it up. Nothing, no wrong with it. But this rod last year was mainly little footballs. That's a little Beast Coast Baby Dozer, best football jig on the market. So last year this thing had 16-pound fluoro. I'm gonna go to 12-pound this year because I have another rod that I'm gonna be using more often as my day-to-day 3-power rod. So this is gonna kind of take the back burner. There's gonna be jigs. I could probably throw some swim baits on this. I could probably do a lot more of the finessier stuff that I don't have to do and worry about. But this was my everyday. Going to the lake, grab a rod and go, this was the job. Now it's taking a nice back seat and then we're throwing these football jigs really, really well in the springtime and be throwing flukes and yeah, pretty much anything I want. And you're about to hear that like 4 more times when I pick up these other 3-powers. So the next rod is not a 3-power. This is everyone's favorite all-purpose rod. This is the Dobyns Champion 734. 7'3", 4-power, which is heavy. And this is one of those custom ones they were doing, or Bloom Edition. They tried some different cork. I like it. It's different. Not the biggest fan, but it definitely works. So the only main difference from that and that rod is this is like a heavy, and that's more like a medium plus medium heavy. So I got a bigger backbone. So like for these, I'm throwing a little bit stiffer jigs, T-rigs, flipping around cover. So that's why I have a Diawa to Tula SVTW with a Dobyns handle for a little more power because Diawa decides to put little baby handles on their reels. This is an awesome combo. The Diawa to Tula is so nice. If you see that mag force, I got set to 8. I can bomb them. Oh crap, I need to skip that jig and that cover. Boom. 18, 20, 16, and I just skip it like a dream. It's a 100 size spool. So if you do backlash, a Diawa to Tula, you're doing something wrong because these are very, very hard to backlash. It's on your spool. So 16-pound fluoro, you can get that pulled out real quick. No big deal. But so this is pretty much the same, but more stouter techniques. So like I'm flipping jigs around cover, I'm gonna go with a 4-power, get a little more power getting them out. T-rigs. This was my Carolina rig last year. I'm hoping to get a 764 this year for my Carolina rigs and some of my mag drafts. But this throws mag drafts just fine. I mean, honestly, it's just, you want an all-purpose rod, but you want to throw some bigger baits, like a 6-inch mag, jigs, you want to do stuff like that, a buzz bait, this is the rod I will go to. So if you get a 733 and a 734 in the champion line, you're pretty much set to go for about 90% of the techniques outside crankbaits. I would recommend either one of these for crankbaits, but 734, fantastic combo. I can't wait to use it more this year. So this combo you guys have not seen. This is a brand new combo I just picked up from the marketplace. We're not gonna talk about too much in this video. I'm gonna do a full kind of unboxing review on a couple of videos from now, when my next unboxing video comes. But what I at least want to show in the arsenal is another Dobyns Champion 733. Back to those 3 powers. I love those 3 powers. So it's a 7'3" medium heavy. Same thing I just said about this Caden, but this is my daily rod and reel in the 3 power line. So I'm gonna be throwing spinner baits on it, single swim baits, chatter baits, I mean, you name it, you can do it. If you don't need a lot of power to get the hook pinned, anything like that, you can go with this rod. So it'll probably be, I would say swim jigs. I still do prefer the 734 for my swim jig, especially with the Tula, but chatter baits, swim baits, I mean, honestly, this is probably a chatterbait spinnerbait rod, if I'm going to be completely honest on top of my head right now. That's probably what this rod is going to throw. The springtime, I'll probably throw a tube on it. Trying to think, maybe I want to throw 2 jigs. But when that water gets a little bit warmer, I can start throwing spinnerbaits and chatterbaits. That's probably what this is going to have on there most of the year. And then once the summertime comes, I'll probably go to some flukes. But the big thing about this, though, is that we have a Shimano Bantam in the lineup. Guys off the marketplace got a really good deal on it. It's not one of the newer Bantams. It's a 2017 model. And you're probably thinking, why would you buy a, what's that now, 7-year-old rod? A 7-year-old reel. It's a Bantam. They hold up. This reel is so smooth still. It casts so good. It's got 1st gen MGO spools. I mean, they're on generation 3 now, but I went and just picked up some trilene Flora I had over here. I put it on there. I grabbed a couple different baits and just went out in my yard and cast around. It casts so good still. So I'm very impressed. It still feels super, super smooth. I'm gonna take it apart this year and re-grease it and re-oil it. The guy told me he did. He didn't lie. He didn't over-grease it. He oiled it really, really well. So super excited to play with this combo. It is definitely, disclaimer, you don't need a Bantam. If you're watching this video and you're thinking, God, this guy's got bad taste and really expensive taste, I got a couple combos coming up a little bit cheaper, but you don't need a Bantam. But when you find a Bantam, just had to try it and I love it. It's been no regrets so far. And for the people who say I have expensive taste, you are right. But I got it all rigged out with my little topwater rod. This is a Dobyns Maverick 733. Wow. Logan, more 3 powers. Told you, they're awesome. This is my budget combo. This is my combo that I would recommend anyone to start out with. You got a Dobyns Maverick 733, $100. Wait for a sale. Wait for American Legacy to throw them 20% off sale. There you go, $80 rod now. Lews, LFS, $100 reel. Wait for a Tackle Warehouse sale or Bass Pro sale. You donate a rod, you get 20% off or $20 off $100. There you go, $160 combo. Or if you just pay full price, 200 bucks. It is fantastic. I honestly forget when I bought this originally. I did not buy it for topwaters. I think I was gonna make one of my Caden 734 crankbait rods my topwater rod. But I love it for topwaters. It is so good. Buzz baits, those smaller tri-buzz from Strike King, little 1/4 ounce guys, throws it phenomenally. I got a video on it. Actually, the first on the water video. It's got a backwash, but you can watch me catch fish on buzz baits. Throws these Team Arc shallow blow type baits, 1/2 ounce. Cast them great. They load up really, really good. Overall, a fantastic rod. And at Lews LFS, man, I've had this reel for 5 years. I don't know if this reel's ever gonna die, honestly, at this point. I use it a ton. It used to be on my daily spinnerbait rod, and then it's been pretty much my topwater reel for the last 3 years. You slap some 30-pound ultracast or Suffix 832. This thing sings the baits. Love this combo. Not the lightest combo in the world, but I really love it. I put some of those wind grip panels on it. Just put them over the little knobs. When you first put them on, they are still kind of loose. So I put them on and let them sit there for a couple of days before I use them. And they don't really move anymore. But that makes this a little more comfortable. Oh, our rod straps. This is a Dobyns version. It's not my favorite. It kind of works. But the only concern is if you get these hooks inside of this, it will grab on and good luck getting those off. So I got the bait cover. These are the 6 cents bait covers. So that's how I have my top waters and my crankbait set up this year with these little covers on there. So now my rods are attacking these. But this is a fantastic budget topwater rod. But if you want to be a all-purpose rod, honestly, you could probably throw some 15-pound, 14-pound mono on that and go and throw spinner baits in the springtime and then top waters in the fall. If you're really good tying leader knots, because I got 30-pound braid to 14-pound mono on that. If you're really good to tying connection knots, just throw some 30-pound, 20-pound braid, and then just swap your leader based off what you're using it for today. But like I said, the other 2 3-powers, same thing, just a little bit cheaper. So with me having those higher end 3-powers, I'm using those for more bomb contact. This would be more for movement. That's why I like my topwater rod. Next one, which is another newer rod. You guys saw this in an unboxing. American Legacy had these used for $100. Dobyns Sierra 683, 6'8" 3-power. I only bought it because it's on sale, $100. Couldn't pass it up. I really want I like a 7'1" jerkbait rod. But I saw these, so I tried them out. I tried it out one day, and I caught a couple of jerkbait fish on it. It did really, really well. Even with that 6'8", I'd rather be a 7, but the 6'8" will work. So I mainly bought it for jerkbaits. So in the springtime, you will see jerkbaits thrown in this thing. But once that summertime comes, I haven't fully decided I'm gonna leave 12-pound fluoro on it all year. I haven't fully decided yet. If I do, it'll be just 12-pound fluoro. But I thought about putting some braid, 20-pound braid, and tying leaders in the summertime, but I might just keep the 12-pound fluoro. Once summertime comes, it's gonna be a shaky head rod. I throw a lot of 1/4 ounce, 3/16 ounce shaky heads. It'll be shaky heads, it'll be flukes, maybe some lighter Texas rigs, but the main reason I bought this rod is for jerkbaits. And I took one of my Shimano SLX DCs. It's a high gear, 7-to-1, and I put it on there to kind of balance that out. But really, really nice combo. Love it. I'm trying to think now. I think I did. The Lews LFS, go back one rod, is a 7-speed. The Bantam's a 6-speed. But the Bantam's gonna have 16-pound fluoro, FC Sniper. The Diawa Tatula, if I don't know if I said, 7-speed. That will have 16-pound sniper on there. And the Tournament Series MB on that Caden, I did talk about the line going to 12, but it's also a 7-speed. I've owned a lot of 7-speeds. I own a couple of 6 and 8s, but mainly 7s. To me, 7s just get everything done right and well. Another newer combo. You guys saw this in the last 2 unboxings ago. One unboxing I showed this off. I bought a Dobyns Colt from Academy October, November, right around there. They were selling for like 20, 30 bucks. I picked one up. Dobyns is eventually getting rid of these. They're going to the Mavericks, but I found one for on sale. So it's a 4-power, so it's technically a heavy, but it has 10% glass in this. So it's, to me, it acts like a medium heavy. I really do think it's a medium heavy, but it's really nice still. It's not super heavy, and it's a fairly cheap combo. I got this, one of the newer Arbo Revos X's. I got that for about 70 bucks. So complete total, technically it's a $100 combo, but if you paid everything full, it's like a $180 combo. But I really, really love it. Always look for steals, guys. Always look for deals. They kind of did what the Lews did. You can get to the gears and grease them up real quick if you don't want to take the whole reel apart. This is also a 7-speed. Oh, where's the 7 on it? I think it's a 7-speed. I think I bought anyway. But this will have that new FC Model F or Model F fluorocarbon from Sunline in the springtime. When summertime comes, I'll put 30-pound braid on it. This will be my buzzbait rod in the spring or some in the summertime. I got some smaller frogs. I'll probably throw some smaller frogs on this. But springtime, spinnerbait, chatterbaits, a lot of movement baits on this, some underspins. Pretty excited to try these Revo out. And honestly, the only reason I bought the Revo X because it matched the Colt. I mean, that's literally the only reason I bought it. If I didn't, I would have bought another LFS. But excited to try that out, see how it does this year. Now, the next two rods, I love them. Oh, if I can just fish these two all day, I'd be so happy. First one up, the frogging rod, the Dobyns Champion 735. It's different than their 5-power and normal casting. This is in the flipping frog series. So the 5-power is actually labeled as a medium heavy, extra fast. Whew. This rod. I used to hate throwing frogs. Can you believe someone can say that? I used to hate throwing frogs. I picked this up. Once again, it has that custom different cork they were trying for a little bit. That rock I use so much. It is so dirty. I need to clean it. And yeah, picked this up. I picked some of those scum frogs up and went to town. And I love this rod. The tip is soft. Like, it's got a little bit of whippy tip. So even like these smaller, I hate this Terminator frog, but like a smaller 3/8 to half, it skips them so well. Being a 7 foot, or 7'3", apologize. You can still skip it really, really well. But overall, it is a fantastic rod for frogs. If you're in like the thickest mats, you probably should go to a 6-power. But for us, you know, we don't fish super thick grass. So it's mainly skipping a frog under trees, over a log. So I just need a 5-power to hook them and get them over a log, get them out of a tree. So that's got the Lews Super Duty on there. Love that reel. This is actually generation 1. They redid these 2 years ago, 3 years ago. So I got this one for like next to nothing. They were getting rid of them. The only complaint on this rod, or this reel, is I bought this aftermarket Lews handle, and I've already fucked the bearings up in this. They don't fully, or whatever reason, I messed up something, so these don't get really tight now. But still a great combo. 65 Suffix 832 on that. So, and that rod being a frog rod, I can throw whatever frog I want. Kicky tails, I mainly run scum launch frogs. But they throw the Terminators just fine. They throw the Spro Juniors just fine. It throws a lot of frogs really, really good, and I love that combo. Plenty of power, plenty of power. Is my main shallow water jig rod. Dobyns Cadence 715. 7'1", mag heavy. It is not a broomstick, not really a broomstick, but it's got so much power. I can hit them, and I feel like I got all the power in the world. Mainly throw 3/8 half-ounce jigs. That's one of those Beast Coast double wide. So when you go pull them through trees, they can roll over. A little Shape 108 from Berkeley on that. Love that little combo. Fantastic rod. 20-pound fluoro. The Lews Team Pro SP. It's their skipping reel. I prefer the Tula to skip, but with this being having such a shallow spool, but still be built to just hit them, pull them out, still have a ton of power, I still rock with this. It holds like 40 pounds of 20, so pulling out a backlash is next to nothing. If you mess up the line, it's cheap, 20, 30 yards of 20-pound. But overall, I love this combo. It skips really well. It's mainly my shallow skip rod. If I'm going to be throwing some stuff offshore, I go to those 3 and 4 powers. But throwing shallow, 2X, 3X hooks is such a great rod. I apologize. This video is going to probably be 40 minutes long on my arsenal. I have so many rods that I want to talk about all of them. So I do apologize. I'm going to try my best to cut it down, but I apologize if this video is super, super long. We got 4 rods left. This is my first Dobyns rod I ever purchased. American Legacy was running a deal. You bought a rod and they gave you like a gift card or something of like some part of the value of the rod, I forget. So originally I had a bunch of shallow rods cranking and I wanted a deeper crank rod. So I picked up a Dobyns Champion 765, 7'6", 5-power, and the cranking series that's a medium heavy. I have a love-hate relationship with this thing. I love it because I caught a lot of good fish. Me and my buddy Aaron, I'll try and put some pictures up now. I caught a couple really nice high threes on this in the springtime, and I had a couple really, really good days out cranking with this thing. The only problem is once you get to like 3/8 to ½ ounce cranks, they don't deep dive. It doesn't really load really well until you catch a fish. But this rod is really excellent at medium diving, 10, 12, 15. I threw everything from the Cloud9 C6, which is an 8-foot diving crankbait from 6 cents, all the way up to their C15, which dives up to 17 foot and weighs 1 ounce. And this rod did just fine on all those. Also, this is my small glide bait rod. I got a couple of those G-Rats, like about an ounce, ounce and a quarter. The Coal Shad, about an ounce and a fifth. It throws them really, really well. So I've definitely found use to use this. I'm also I picked up some smaller A-rigs you guys saw in the last video. So definitely going to probably throw those on this too. So it's a really, really nice rod. It's just not my favorite everyday rod. That's why I have 2 of the next rods. But I did, you saw in the last video, picked up the new Shimano Corrado M. This is a 7-to-1. I went ahead and get 7-to-1 so this reel doesn't stay on here. I can use it for other techniques. Overall, so far use, it is really, really smooth. I'm really excited to try that MGL 3 spool. I heard sometimes it's a little bit harder to dial in, so I can't wait to backlash 200 yards out a couple times. But super excited for this. So this is more of my deeper cranks. I'll probably throw some A-rigs on it, some smaller A-rigs, swim call shads, but it doesn't get as much use as it did when I first bought it because of the next 2 rods. But I still love it. It'll be in my little arsenal for a very long time. And I'm really excited to try that new Corrado M for the year. Now, we're on the rod, which replaced that Dobyns Champion 765 as my everyday crank rod. I wonder if someone can count every video that I talked about this and put in the comments, because I would love to know. I've probably said like 20 times. Dobyns Caden 734 CB. 7'3" medium power crankbait rod. It is the best crankbait rod on the market. The best. You can throw legitimately almost everything on this rod. I went and threw from 1/4 ounce crankbaits this year to 5/8 cranks. Everywhere from a 1 to 2 foot 1/4 ounce crank to C10s that dive up to 12 feet. On this rod, did just fine. Cooked them in, brought them in the boat, no problem. Didn't feel like I had not enough power. It's such a good rod. It loads so good. And I was talking to some people in the Dobyns rod community, and some people are throwing chatterbaits on this. Never thought about that. So I'm gonna probably do that some this year as well. But this is the original. I love this rod. I fell in love with it the day I bought it. And yeah, if you're gonna buy one Dobyns crankbait rod, 734. If you want a shorter one, you gotta go to 705 or a DC or Champion 704. But if you don't care about length, 734 will get you done. It will literally take care of almost all your cranks. But once you get, like I talked about, that 12, 14, I do believe that 765, that's when that rod becomes fantastic. So all your 12, 10 footers and lower, 734. So if you're on a deep lake, you're fishing 10, 15 feet all the times, probably go with 765. But if you're a shallow guy, flats, bank, stuff like that, 734. So I got the Shimano SLX MGL 70 on here, and then Shimano just redid it. So they came out with a new version of this upcoming year. I'm definitely gonna have to get one. It's got the new MGL 3 in it. It's got some of the technology from the Cryo series. I'm excited to see that reel. But I got last year's version. It's got MGL 1 or 2 in it. It's really, really nice. I really love this reel. I threw it a little bit before it got cold, and I really love these MGLs. This thing really does bomb them, man. I really was super impressed with this thing. It will probably have 12-pound fluoro on it all year. Forgot to say, the 765 will probably have 14 to 16 on there. If it gets really clean, I'll put 12 on there, but this will have 12-pound at all times. But this one's mainly for like my 1/4 to ½ ounce crankbaits. A lot of my more like finesse-ier ones, but I'm super excited for a full season of this, and I'm expecting a lot of crankbait fish being caught on that rod this year. So that rod's like a potato chip. You can't have one. Boom, another 734 CB. It's so good. Oh, but I bought this one for more of those half-ounce 5/8. So I put a Corrado DC 150 on there. Had it for about 2-3 years now. It's so good reel. Such a good reel. DC technology, you can bomb a mile and it just keeps on going, and then eventually stops when the wind finally catches up to it. But this would be more like my C10 rod, C6 rod, bigger flat sides. Or if I know like, hey, they're on a nice flat side bite and I want to rock a couple different colors, then I can. I just went with this one with a bigger spool so I can cast those heavier crankbaits a little bit farther. So I just had that line capacity. This being a 150 size, the other one being a 70, I lose half the capacity on that SLX. But once again, this is one of the newer rods. Just picked it up during the Black Friday sale. I've had the crawl for a while. Can't wait to rock this. Same thing, 12-pound fluoro. I could see me putting different size fluoro on this one if I want to make it more of a shallow cranking rod, but at this time it will have 12. I'll let you know. On my line, my cranking line, I didn't say that. I run Sniper. Sunlight Sniper is, to me, still the best fluoro on the market. I know they make a Crank FC. I do like Assassin. I feel like it's going to be a little bit better for cranking, but to me, the durability of Sniper, and with me running softer rods, maybe if that 5-power might be better with mono, but I have so much confidence in Sniper cranking on softer rods and I can get them in with no issues. So I will continue to crank on them. So both of those will have 12-pound Sniper. The other one will have 16. And then the final rod in my everyday arsenal, Dobyns Champion 794 SB. It's a medium power swim bait rod, 1 to 3 ounce. Pretty much my A-rig rod. I'm trying to get more into the bigger glides. I picked up some of the Savage Gear Shine Glide or something like 2 ounces. I do have a couple of the River Sea S-Waver 168s, and I picked out a new Milliken Hangover. So probably throwing these on this rod this spring. Really trying it. I originally bought that Diawa Alexa for it. I did try a couple times out with the Alexa. I probably need to spend more time. I really don't like the weight of that. It's so heavy, and I don't fully need it. So, but I got some buddies who wants to do muskie fishing, so I'll probably use it for muskie fishing. And if I don't use it enough for muskies, I'll just sell it. It's not the biggest deal in the world. I'll get most of my money back. I bought it on a really good sale. But we'll keep that Corral K on there. Try and true, man. I've had this reel, same thing, about 4 or 5 years. It just keeps running. I have in love with that Dobyns or that Corrado K, and we'll have 20-pound on that pretty much all year long. Running Sniper. I might pick up the Seagar Abrasex for this pull, but Sniper ran just fine last year, 20. I did try 25. I don't like the feel 25, so I'm gonna go with 20. So this is my main A-rig rod, all my bigger A-rigs, and those swim baits. I'm really trying to get better at swim bait fishing this year. I'm gonna put some time in it. Hopefully with the live scope, maybe I'll do a little bit better. Probably not, but we're definitely gonna try to get better at that. I at least want to make a video of my arsenal for 2024. I know I put a lot of info out on these, but I want people to be educated on the combos I'm using, why I use it, and the line I use. I think that's very important, especially for new people. Do not, if you're new, buy Champions. Don't buy Cadence. Don't buy the Extremes. Pick up some Furies. Pick up some of those Mavericks. If you can find some Colts, pick up some cheaper combos. Those rods are still great. They make a 735 in the Maverick, the Fury, the Colt series. They make good topwater rods. Pick up some of those guys. Do not drop the money at the start, and always wait for sales. Do not pay full price. Companies, especially Dobyns, are always running sales to give back us who are always supporting Dobyns through and through. So please go ahead and wait for some sales to save you a couple bucks. But if you can't, I understand. But that's my arsenal. Real quick, video's already long enough. Who cares if I talk for 2 minutes? We all already cut off this video by now. I'm probably gonna pick up 2 more combos this year. I'm looking to get a Dobyns Champion 764C as my Carolina rig rod. I heard it's really good throwing mag drafts on it. But mainly for Carolina rigs. I want to get better at Carolina rigs. And a special announcement right now. I have joined a tournament series. It's the Cincinnati Bass League. We're going to be running about, I think, 8 tournaments this year, 6 tournaments, something like that. I'm not the biggest tournament guy, but these groups, it's just a bunch of people just going out and fishing. They're not rolling up in $100,000 boats and acting like they're Johnny Hard because they have the nicest tackle in the world. I have a lot of nice gear, and I appreciate and I am very grateful for what I have. It's mainly because I have poor spinning habits, but I appreciate everything I have, and I don't brag. I don't make fun of people for buying cheap combos. I understand if you can't afford it. I completely understand. I'm trying to get better at, as a YouTuber, to show off some of the cheaper gear. I know a lot of my combos are around that $300-400 or higher price point, but wait for sales. Those Maravels, $140. I have not paid over $100 for any of my Maravels. The SLX 70, I paid $90 for that. The Sierra 683, I paid $100 for that. The Crotto, that Bantam, a little bit older Bantam, paid under $200 for a Bantam. Brand new Bantams were $350. I mean, I can go down the line, all these reels and rods, and I find deals. Wait for deals, save some money, and but yeah. And then my other comment I think I'm picking up is the Cadence 745. I want an extra frog rod. I only have one technically. And then I'll probably pick up another Lews for that, another Super Duty for that reel, or one of my is over there. I don't know where it went. Oh, here it is. Or I'll put this Lews LFS Hack Attack. It's the Greg Hackery series. Super nice, super cool. I threw this last year on that Cadence 734, ran just fine. Wind grip handles. So we'll go with that. But once again, thank you. If you're still watching, what are you doing? Please stop. Just turn someone else on. But I appreciate you watching. Appreciate you clicking on this video. So until next time, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.